Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Look, if you own property down in Los Cabos, San Jose del Cabo, or really anywhere across Baja California Sur, you already know that navigating the whole solar energy thing here can feel, well, incredibly frustrating. You constantly hear these horror stories, right? Systems completely failing, batteries dying in the middle of the night, or those massive CFE bills that just won't budge. But today, we're going to clear all of that up. We are breaking down the absolute biggest real-world solar pain points in the Baja region, and I'm going to show you exactly how to fix them before you waste thousands of dollars.
I want to kick things off with a pretty hard truth. Most solar problems in Los Cabos do not happen because solar is bad. They happen because the system was designed wrong, installed wrong, or someone sold you a system to solve the completely wrong problem. The actual solar technology, it works beautifully, but a system is literally only as good as the blueprint behind it.
Okay, let's dive into this. The very first mistake folks make when they decide, hey, I'm going to go solar, is jumping straight into buying equipment. They completely skip the most important question: what problem are you actually trying to solve? Seriously, what is your core frustration right now? Because if you don't know the exact answer to that question, you are pretty much guaranteed to end up frustrated. So, step one, identify your real solar problem. Down here in Baja, property owners generally fall into one of three totally distinct paths, and understanding which one you are on changes literally everything about what you should buy. First up, we've got grid tied. This is purely for lowering your CFE bill, period. Second is hybrid. This lowers your bill, but it also gives you battery backup for when the power goes out. And third, off-grid. This is for properties out in places like the East Cape, Los Barriles, or remote ranches that need full 100% independence because CFE isn't reliable or isn't even there. Guys, these are three completely different systems. If someone tries to sell you the exact same package for all three of these situations, run. That is a massive red flag. Let's tackle problem number one, high CFE bills. Picture this. You've got a massive, painfully expensive CFE bill sitting right next to a power-hungry AC mini-split that's just humming away all day long. Look, air conditioning is the absolute big killer here in Los Cabos. During the summer months, you're cranking those mini-splits, running the pool pumps, keeping the refrigerators cold, and then that bill shows up and man, it hurts. But here's the thing. You cannot just guess what size solar system you need based on how big your house looks from the street or just the peso amount on your bill. You actually have to look at the real kilowatt hours the property uses. I really want to slow down and emphasize this crucial point. If your solar quote does not start with your actual CFE bill, the quote is probably a guess. It is really that simple. If a salesperson isn't taking the time to read your bill and calculate your real historical kilowatt hour usage, then nobody actually knows what your home needs. They're literally just throwing a dart at a board with your money. And getting that design right is absolutely vital because of numbers like this, 70 to 95%. Yeah. A properly designed grid-tied solar system has the potential to slash your CFE bill by that much. It's incredibly exciting. But remember, you only hit those dramatic numbers when the system is sized using real data, not guesswork. Moving on to problem number two, blackouts and batteries. Here's something that always shocks people. A regular, basic, grid-tied solar system will actually shut down completely when the CFE grid shuts down. I know, right? You'd assume having panels on your roof means you always have power, but they're designed this way on purpose to protect the CFE workers fixing the lines down the street. If your system pushed power back into a dead grid, it could electrocute someone. So, if your main problem is blackouts, a basic grid-tied system won't do a thing for you. You specifically need a hybrid inverter and battery setup. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what happens when you do get those batteries. You don't just say, hey, how many panels do I get? You have to ask, what exactly do I need to keep running? Things like mini-splits, pool pumps, refrigerators, and water pumps, these are heavy loads that will drain your backup power unbelievably fast. And this leads to a very expensive mistake caused by bad design. Listen to this. One battery is not a magic box. Shady salesmen love to sell you a single battery just because it sounds great on a quote, but they completely ignore the real load. A battery that perfectly runs your internet router and a few LED lights will struggle and die incredibly fast if you try to kick on your AC. And hey, that isn't the battery's fault. That is just bad design. Let's talk about surviving harsh Baja conditions. Imagine climbing up onto your roof and finding messy, completely unorganized, dangerous spaghetti wiring just totally exposed to the sun and rain. Look, cheap installs look cheap for a very good reason. They skip vital details.
And out here in Baja, skipping details leaves your equipment vulnerable, and it gets really expensive when that system inevitably fails, or worse, becomes a serious fire hazard.
Now, contrast that mess with what it should look like. Clean, safe, properly labeled, and fully conduit-protected professional wiring. A proper solar installation is way more than just slapping some glass on a roof. The real safety and longevity of your investment are in the details. Proper wire sizing, the right breakers, and correct grounding. That stuff is non-negotiable. Because honestly, your system has to be built like a tank to survive here. We are battling extreme heat, blowing dust, highly corrosive ocean salt air, hurricane force winds, tough concrete roofs, and sometimes really weak grid conditions. Your installation absolutely demands robust, Baja-ready standards to fight off this daily assault.
Next up, panel placement and CFE interconnection.
A lot of folks think, well, as long as the panels are somewhere up on the roof, I'm good. No way. And this brilliantly illustrates why strategic placement is literally the difference between a high-performing system and a dead one. Shade kills production. Dust kills production. Placing them in a weird spot where ocean's salt air corrodes them faster and where nobody can reach them to clean them is a disaster.
Plus, if you actually want to lower your bill using solar credits, you can't just connect panels and assume CFE is legally crediting your account. They have a very specific, official paperwork process. You need a compatible inverter, the right bidirectional meter process, and all the official red tape sorted out. Do not just assume it works automatically without doing it by the book.
So let's look at the blueprint to solar success.
All right, here is your exact, definitive checklist to make sure you get this right the very first time. Step 1. Analyze your actual CFE bill. No guessing. Step 2. Define your main goal. Is it the bill, battery backup, or going totally off-grid? Step 3. Write down your vital heavy loads. Step 4. Design the entire system around those calculated true needs. And Step 5. Ensure a clean, safe installation built specifically for Baja. This is the definitive right way to buy solar.
So look, before you spend a single peso wasting thousands on the wrong setup, start with the problem. Cabo Solar Experts is actually offering a completely free solar assessment to residents across Cabo, San Jose del Cabo, and the whole region. All you have to do is send them a photo of your CFE bill and explain your main pain point, whether that's a crazy high bill, blackouts, needing an off-grid setup, or fixing a broken system you already have. Just shoot them a WhatsApp at +1 951 577 5097, call their Mexico line at +52 615 110 3214, or email info@cabosolarexperts.com. As Baja keeps growing, energy independence isn't just some luxury anymore, it's an absolute necessity. So are you going to keep paying for power you have zero control over, or are you ready to finally build a resilient blueprint for your home? Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.